Okay, fellas, here we have a 2006 Nissan Pathfinder. Alright, I'm replacing the rear hub bearings, or the rear hub on this. I have done this video in the past where I have done the front hubs, but now it's time for the rear hubs. So whenever you change the hub, just make sure you change on both sides. And how to diagnose if it's your hub bearing. Your hub bearing doesn't go bad overnight. It gives you symptoms. While you're driving, you may hear squeaking noise and stuff like that, and then slowly and eventually a play appears in the tire, and I'm going to show you how to diagnose that play or that movement in the bearing. If you hold your tire from top to bottom like this, or what they say 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock, and there's a movement, there should be no movement in the tire. The tire is moving. Or you can hold it left and right, or what is called 3 and 9 kind of location, and there's a movement. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's making a click click noise, which means this bearing is bad. So we're going to replace this bearing or the hub. If your car is equipped with the brake shoes, it may have brake shoes in there, so you have to work through them to take out this bearing. So let's start with opening up this tire. All right, the socket to open up the wheels is 21. All right, the wheel is off. We're gonna open up the bracket for the caliper and hang it, and then we're gonna work on removing this. So next thing we need to do is to remove this caliper bracket completely with the pads and everything, and we're gonna hang it over here. We don't want it to get damaged. The socket that I'm using for this is number 17, and we'll open this and hang it. So that sits there, as you can see. So we'll leave it over here, tie it up, and now we're going to remove this rotor. So after hitting a few times, this thing comes out. Alright, so this is the hub that we're after. Now we're going to remove this cotter pin, and I think this bolt is 32 mm, and we're going to remove that, and then we will have access to the hub that we're after. So now the pin is out, and this seems like number 32. Yes, it is. Alright guys, this is very important. Once we put everything back, we have to torque it the right way. If you torque too much the axle nut, the hub bearing is gonna go bad prematurely. So we got to make sure that this thing is torqued at the right torque requirements. So this is your hub now. The actual problem starts now, because now we're going to try to remove it. It seems like it's been there for a while. all that rust and everything that accumulated. So we'll see what's the best we can do to remove it. A little bit of hammering. If the hammering doesn't work, then we have to probably use a slide hammer. But first we have to open up the 4 bolts in the back. So the bolts for the hub, they're also number 17. And the bottom one, you have to push the axle back to remove them. So I was successful. It was pretty easy for me to remove. So these are the bolts, number 17. I'm gonna put them separate on the other side. Now we'll try to access the other ones. So I remove one. I don't know if you guys can see. There are 3 more. There's one right here. We're gonna remove this, one at the bottom, and we'll take it from there. Number 2 is out. Now we're gonna work on number 3 and 4. So now we have to hammer this thing out, and let's see how much luck is with us. Hopefully it comes out with a few blows. Let's hope for the best. Let's secure our caliper really good. Oh, that was fairly good and easy, and I can't complain. That's really good. There we go, folks. It's out. I never thought it's gonna be this easy. I know all the trouble I went through for the previous one. Alright, now what we're gonna do, see all this part over here? We're gonna clean it really good, grease up here before we install the new hub. So it's about 28 degrees and I have my heater going on. It's cold, but a man gotta do what a man gotta do. Let's clean everything. So the most important thing that if you see over here is the specs for torque. The axle nut needs to be torqued at 177 pound-foot pressure, or if you want to do it in newtons, it's 240. So you gotta align the spines of the hub with the spines of the axle. Make sure the holes are aligned when you put these bolts on, and once the first one is in, the rest become easier. Tied them up in crisscross pattern. The top, now I gotta do the bottom one. Axle nut. So now to the torque settings of 170 foot-pounds. Click. So if you hear that click, it means it's good. There we go. Now we're gonna put the rotor back, and then the caliper back, and then the wheel back. And now let's put our rotor back. A little bit of hammering. go. We're gonna put our caliper back. This one is in. And then we can put the second one in, tighten it up. So now next step is putting the wheel back. Alright folks, there you go. This is how you replace the hub on a Nissan Pathfinder. And with that being said, I'm gonna end this video and hopefully see you sometime, somewhere soon in another video. Take care. Bye bye.